So this video, I would like to go over the eclipses from last year, because that's kind of going to give us an idea as to what the themes are for this eclipse season. And it's basically going to highlight and show you, have you made progress? For the themes that have been, where are you now? What has progressed since then? So, the eclipses in Aries and Libra last year in 2023. Aries was on April 20th, actually, of last year. So, and then the Libra eclipse was, let's see, that was, I can't remember the exact date of when that was. That was like back in, well, anyways, I'll just get into it. We'll look at the solar eclipse that was in Libra. And it's going to be a combination at the same time with this solar eclipse in Aries right now. It's going to bring up those themes again, right? So we'll go off of every rising sign. So the Aries rising, it's going to involve your first house and your seventh house, because Aries and Libra, right? Self-awareness and important changes when it comes to yourself, your appearance. You are likely to prioritize your needs over your relationships at this time. So look back on that, Aries risings. Have you had a lot of changes within yourself, your identity? Do you feel that you have kind of put your relationship on the back burner? And if it's caused any pain, is it something that you can, not that you have to, it's like you have to work with your partner as well, but like, has it put on some stress? Like, because you have more workload, a higher workload, and where are there some areas where you can make a sacrifice, even though you still, of course, should focus on your identity and making yourself known in the workforce? How can you make changes so that your relationships don't suffer? And for Taurus rising, this is going to be your 12th house and 6th house. So increased need for isolation, potentially moving or traveling abroad, need to separate yourself from negative influences and enemies, but also of negative work experiences. So leaving a job or other associated commitments. So let's think on that. Within the last 6 months or even to a year, have you changed jobs? Have you moved? And what's it looking like now? Are you still happy? If you have changed jobs, are you starting to change your mind on certain things and rethink certain situations? How have you grown since then? Do you feel that it's been very much a year of self-reflection for you? And have you done like the work to heal those fears that kind of reside in the 12th house? For Gemini rising, 11th house and 5th house. So emphasis on community and the desire to make friends and allies, gaining the support of patrons. This could be accompanied of less creativity or desire to move freely, and more to contribute to something more communal and tangible. So, have you been increasing your friendship circle? Have you been more involved in the community that you live in? And how have those relationships changed with old friendships, old communities that you were a part of, and so forth? Cancer rising, 10th house and 4th house. Expanding your reputation, working towards life goals and ambitions. Desire to extract yourself from your roots and familiar environment to venture into something more worldly and ambitious. So for Cancer rising, within the last year or so, how has your house of career really expanded? And with this solar eclipse coming up, it's going to bring those messages up again for you to review. And are you still happy with your pathway of success? Are there any little changes that need to be made to fine tune it, right? And also, since it's kind of tied to your home, I mean, it goes hand in hand. The way that we become in our career is largely influenced by all the things that we have either repressed or things that we've healed from with our home and family environment. And if one has too many burdens, traumas, things that just are deep rooted and not solved in the home and the childhood realms, you can't really achieve the most that you would like to achieve in your house of career, right? So that's why they go hand in hand. Leo risings. It's all about your 9th house and 3rd house for Leo risings, getting deeper into esoteric knowledge and spirituality, going back into higher studies and education, the desire to travel and to have more adventures. Topics such as siblings, routine trips, your neighborhood or roommates could be disrupted in some way. So, Leo rising. I'm a Leo rising. Yes, I have gotten much in even deeper into learning about astrology, for example, esoteric stuff, anything that involves spirituality, knowledge of the deeper aspects. Sorry, I had to get him something to eat really quick. Oh yes, Leo rising. So this involves the 9th house and 3rd house for you, Leo. The solar eclipse in Aries, your house of communication. How do you communicate the spiritual findings in your life? And how do you apply it to your own life? You can have all the knowledge in the world about spirituality and still not apply it. I'm trying very hard to work on doing that in my own life. Because, yeah, I'm noticing that about myself, reflecting. It's like, I know all these things about all these spiritual aspects of things, but am I really applying it? Am I really understanding it to the fullest? Or am I just preaching it and not actually living it? So it's definitely been hitting me for sure in that arena. Virgo rising, 8th house and 2nd house for you. So increasing a mortgage or loan refinancing is possible, as well as an increase in taxes or financial support you provide or receive, greater spending or decluttering, and getting rid of certain material possessions. So yeah, I mean, for you, Virgos, you guys are going to be really decluttering everything. You're going to review all the things that you've built up. You're tired of baggage holding you back. You want to just aspire to the things that you've been wanting to do for a long time. And so how is that showing up for you? And it's tied to your 8th house, right? So 8th house, this is not just about material baggage. This is also about karma. It's the baggage of karma, that cords that might still be attached to you that you need to work on detaching yourself from. So Libra rising, 7th house and 1st house. So emphasis on relationships and close people in your life, an exploration of the relational aspect in your life, decreased emphasis on your appearance and self, and gaining understanding about what relationships really nurture you and how. So how has that shown up? What changes were made there since the last eclipse for you, Libra rising? Are you still too focused on the outward appearance, or have you been working beneath the surface more? Have you been able to really sift out more of the deeper things that you feel? Scorpio rising, 6th house and 12th house. Emphasis on routines, repetitive aspects of life, what you have to do for the sake of your own service. Emphasis on service and acknowledgement of what doesn't serve you. Hold on. So let's see. Yes, so emphasis on service and acknowledgement of what doesn't serve you, plus spending more time with pets, or if you don't have any pets, maybe you should get one. So yes, of course, have you added on to your, family? Do you have some new pets? And since the last eclipse, and also, are you really trying to do things for yourself and making decisions that will serve you better? Instead of serving others, serve yourself. But what's really going to benefit you? Think about it that way too. Like, there's productive service for yourself, but then there's service where it's like, okay, I get rid of this thing, but it's because I'm more comfortable here. I'm talking about service to yourself where, yeah, you're going to have to do some hard stuff, whether it's like having to get more into a productive routine, right? That's going to benefit your life in the long run, whether it's career wise, whether it's, health wise, all that kind of stuff. Getting out of your comfort zone when it comes to pushing yourself to aspire a better career, a better pathway to become more independent. And Sagittarius rising, 5th house and 11th house. Emphasis on the creative process, finding joy and pleasure in the things you put into the world. Spending time with children and thinking about what makes you feel happiness. Less time spent on community activities and meeting new people. So, for Sagittarius rising, are you learning to take more of a break from constantly spreading yourself out everywhere, wanting to be here and there and everywhere all the time? Are you trying to focus more on your close-knit relationships and not trying to constantly break away from things because you want to be constantly in adventurous mode? This is a time where it's teaching you some skills that might not be as fun, I guess. It's kind of helping you to hone in more of the foundational qualities, I guess. So, has that been changing for you? And what changes? Capricorn rising, 4th house and 10th house, reconnecting with your roots, hometown, greater appreciation for home life, spending more time with your plants, maybe focusing on your home, right? Instead of always thinking about, okay, I need to do this at work. What am I going to do for work in this month and planning out all these things? Instead, kind of not letting your mind be addicted to work so much and allowing yourself to be more like more at home, right? Building your home, building your garden, being more organic in a way versus corporate. What changes have happened for you there over the last 6 months? Aquarius rising, 3rd house and 9th house. So learning languages, increasing appreciation for your local environment, the magic of daily life in your neighborhoods, more trips to familiar destinations, less interest in academia and major travel or highbrow studies. So this one's the opposite of Leo's, right? Because obviously Aquarius is on the opposite of the wheel of Leo. And so focuses are more on 3rd house activities, which is basically talking and communicating with your local community versus collectively. Because a lot of times Aquarius, they love to do collective stuff, humanitarian, But now it's not so much in the 9th house. It's more focused on the 3rd house, which is closer to home, the 4th house. So maybe you're being more locally integrated into communication with everyone. And what has shown up in your life to bring up those themes for you since 6 months ago? Pisces rising, 2nd house and 8th house were the major themes for you. Important material gains, gaining better budget and finance skills, acquiring long-lasting quality things into your life, material support, which helps you flourish, becoming the main provider. So this is opposite of Virgos, right? So it's more that you're not so much in the themes of the deep, dark rooted stuff. It's more like, okay, I'm changing over to be more practical now. What do I need to put into place in order to gain these materials that I would like in my life? Like, how do I save up for a new wardrobe? Or not a wardrobe, not like clothes, but I'm saying like renovating your house, or maybe you want to switch out some appliances for more quality ones. It's those types of things. Maybe you want to invest in a stock somewhere that you'd like to, or maybe find different ways of earning money, right? And so investing in. So that's where I see that, and budgeting and all that kind of stuff. So what themes have come up for you, and what changes have happened since then? Has there been changes in that department for you? Have you noticed that? Or if we fight it, of course, let me also bring this up too. So these changes happen, right? But sometimes we fight against it. What happens when we fight against the themes that are trying to show themselves, trying to put into motion? In little ways, life is going to make it happen anyways. It's going to come out somewhere in some form or fashion. The only difference is that one is not in your control, and the other one you might have a little bit more control over because you know the theme already. You know the focus that is there. So that's what I say about it depends. Not everybody has these same things, but it really also depends on whether you were seeing that, noticing that, aware of that. Were you working towards that? Were you trying to put effort into that? Otherwise, sometimes it'll just manifest unexpectedly on its own, and things will happen the way they want. And it doesn't always come out on top when we're not prepared. So, but then again, it's like life is a risk anyways. And so you can never be fully prepared for anything, right? So that's what I have though for the revisiting of the solar eclipse themes over 2023 till now. And I hope you liked it. And I hope you have a good rest of your weekend. Actually, tomorrow is April 8th, isn't it? So I will get back to you on that. I'll do a report on how did it turn out, the aftermath. All right, peace out.